am Kiata Anna's sister.
CA.
According to the National Institute of Mental Health, in 2017, 9.8 million adults had serious thoughts of committing suicide. And sadly, many of us know or have heard of someone who has taken their own life. Suicide is the 10th leading cause of death in the United States for all ages. Today I will talk to you about how suicide is a serious problem, steps we can take to help those at risk, and how together we can help find hope and create a healthier mind for the future. First, I would like to talk to you about very serious problems with suicide. Depression is a main cause of suicide. Suicide frequently stems from deep feelings of hopelessness and the inability to see solutions to problems or to cope with challenging life circumstances. The SAVE website states that depression affects 20 to 25% of Americans aged 18 and older each year. Also, that half of all Americans experiencing an episode of major depression receive treatment. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that about 60% of people who commit suicide have mood disorders like depression. Unfortunately, LGBTQ members have high suicide rates. Each time an LGBTQ person is a victim of physical or verbal abuse or harassment, they become 2 times more likely to hurt themselves. According to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, 41% of trans adults say they have attempted suicide. And the same study found that 61% of trans people who were victims of physical assault had attempted suicide. Next, let's talk about a couple of solutions. Learning the warning signs. The National Institute of Mental Health states that certain behaviors can be warning signs that someone is thinking about suicide. Some of these behaviors include talking about wanting to die or wanting to kill themselves, talking about feeling trapped or feeling that there is no solutions, and using alcohol or drugs more often. Another solution is to get professional help for their depression. Getting prompt professional help at the first signs of depression is a very important step in preventing suicide. According to the Treatment for Adolescents with Depression study, 80 to 90% of people who seek treatment for depression are treated successfully through therapy and or medications. Next, let's talk about the future and changing the way we see mental illness. The National Alliance of Mental Illness states that 43.8 million adults experience mental illness in a given year. Now, more than ever, we are learning and becoming more open with talking about our struggles with mental illness. Connecting with other individuals and families will help us to continue to fight the stigma around mental illness and will result in more people seeking treatment and in turn save lives. On October 10, 2017, Supra Sakaran said, and I quote, "We need to enable more self-advocates to share their stories and call for change." Peer support is another great way to seek change. Looking to the future, a synthesis of new development and challenges in suicide research and prevention, published November 27, 2018, states that there is now more evidence for peer support prevention programs and skill-based training programs which show positive outcomes regarding coping skills. The revised National Strategy for Suicide Prevention states that peer support plays an important role in the treatment of mental and substance use disorders and holds the potential for helping those at risk for suicide. Therefore, today I spoke to you about suicide. I discussed why it's a serious problem and how to combat suicide by learning the warning signs and by seeking professional help. And now our future can look brighter with better understanding of mental health and peer support. My hope is that with your newfound knowledge, we can help save lives to suicide and to always remember to talk to someone about how you're feeling. Encourage those that are struggling to seek professional help. Educate yourself on mental illness and become familiar with all the warning signs. I would like to end my speech with a quote. When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, till it seems as though you cannot hang on a minute longer, never give up then, for that is just the place and time the tide will turn. Harriet Beecher Stowe. Thank you. Bye.